I kind of started delving into this carnivore diet idea about a year ago. And so it's been a fascinating rabbit hole for me to really explore the nuances of what I would call a nose to tail carnivore diet or whole foods animal based eating. And when I first heard about it, like many of your listeners, I thought that is just kooky. That's just crazy,
Yeah,
you know?
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Right, right. And then when you dig into it and you really think about it, and I've written a lot about this and talked a lot about it. I'm writing a book right now. The ideas really start to crystallize. And what falls out of the mix is this pretty basic idea that, hey, plants don't want to get eaten. Animals don't want to get eaten either, but animals can run away from you or use their horns or use their teeth. But plants are stuck in place. Plants have roots. And so throughout our coevolution with plants as humans or as animals or insects, throughout life's evolution with plants, the coevolution of these two kingdoms of life, animal and plant evolution, plants have figured out ways to create toxins. And there are myriad toxins in plants. And they're full of things which are essentially called phytoalexins, which are defense molecules against insects, animals, humans, whatever wants to eat them or is trying to eat them, that kind of discourages that. And I thought, oh, that makes sense. But can we get all the nutrients we need from animals? And when you really look into that, the kind of amazing thing is that you can. An animal looks a heck of a lot like a human from a biochemical perspective. A plant is nothing like a human from a biochemical perspective. But if you look at a ruminant animal, their biochemistry is 99.99% similar to humans. They use essentially all of the same minerals and cofactors that humans use to run their molecular engines, to run their biochemistry. So it kind of makes sense that if you're eating from the animal kingdom and you're eating the whole animal, which we can talk about, not just eating the muscle meat, eating the organs and the connective tissue and getting some source of bones and calcium and getting some source of fat from the animal, you're going to get every single thing a human needs. And so what I've really come to believe, and sort of the hypothesis, the premise of my work, is that animals represent the optimal food for humans because they are the source of all the nutrients that humans need to function optimally in the most bioavailable forms, because they look just like a human in terms of their biochemistry, without any of the anti-nutrients found in plants. And I thought, well, doesn't that sound kind of cool?
I just wonder if there's this kind of, very unlikely scenario where all the vegans in the world decide that you're right, and all the kind of factory farming also decides that you're right. Is there a way that 6 billion people could be fed by kind of grass-fed ruminant agriculture?
That is an interesting question. That's a kind of painting me into a philosophical corner a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. I wasn't responsible for 6 billion people on the planet. The first thing I will say, yeah, right. That's quite fertile. I'm very fertile.
Yeah.
The first thing I'll say about that is that it's an implausibility, right? And I don't mean to invalidate your question, because I think that the question that I think we should be asking is, how do we scale this? If we truly believe that eating animals creates health for people and represents good nutrition for humans on the planet, how do we create more access to animal foods? What about the environmental aspects? I think that there is a strong argument that if we put more ruminants on the planet, we will see a decrease in greenhouse gases. So I would argue that one of the best things we can do for future generations, for our children, is to put more ruminants on the planet that are grazing properly.